and by deed, by what we have done and by what we have left undone. Let's get to the left undone part. So that's one. Thank you for having those conversations. A lot of them are uncomfortable, but we love it when white people want to have those conversations. And it's not about your personal guilt or whatever. Just God bless you for doing it. So I know a way out of shame, but this is not about guilt. Oh my gosh. This is about we all being ashamed, and we're going to do something about it. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Bishop, for a wonderful address. Susie Robertson, Bishop of Granbury. I was the first white person in the Diocese of Texas to serve at all of historic black church as its rector. Nobody ever walked out on me, and I knew nothing when I went in. I knew nothing. Would you extend a courtesy to the clergy who are in this room, who when we preach this stuff, we start getting the phone calls
Yes.
from the leadership of the church saying, so-and-so walked out.
Yes.
So-and-so walked out. So-and-so walked out. How do we care for ourselves against that kind of pressure?
That is a huge problem. I'm glad you raised it. A few things. For my testimony in Congress and in Fox News, and my brother Tucker Carlson mischaracterized something I said. I talked about the souls of black folk and the souls of white folk, wanting the same things, and that this will be healing for the souls of white folk as much as black folk. And so he did this big thing. Bishop of the Episcopal Church said that the souls of white people are in danger unless they are supporting reparations. That was unfortunate. But I got death threats. We've had to call the police at diocesan offices. Death threats for speaking about reparations and all of that. So there is some cost. You can be helped by referring to statements. The Episcopal Church has made some good statements at General Convention about restorative justice, even about the principle of reparations. It's just that none of the dioceses have taken them up on that. And you can refer to bishop's statements, and you can say, you can just reprint some things I've written and others, and you don't have to say it. Because guess what? Bishops are given more license to speak out on things than parish clergy. You have to be around to do the pastoral work and all of that. So don't do all the heavy lifting on your own. And then the last thing, it's always a personal call for everyone, but how many white Episcopal clergy lost their jobs in the civil rights movement? How many lost for speaking out against the war in Vietnam? How many lost for speaking out for women's ordination and rights? How many have lost, and in this room, for speaking out for the full inclusion of all God's people, all the baptized, no matter their sexual orientation? So welcome to the club. It's just going to be loss. But in the long run, the next generations will look back at that and say, thank you, and you will be resting in peace. Yes.
Yes, I'm Senator Ruiz, and I'm deacon at Bishop of Granbury, and I also work with the Kaleidoscope Institute. And I was wondering how we as Episcopalians can lead the way in embodying this, including an examination of the wealth within the Episcopal Church,
Yes.
and from the Episcopal Pension Fund that owes its resources also to
Of course.
properties and
Well, it's going to cost something. I mean, a lot of it is, when I say making down payments on a debt, but when Virginia Seminary last month said, we're going to put aside $1.7 million in the name of reparations to repair the damage. Now, Virginia Seminary has got a lot of money, and so I'm not worried about them financially. But that has a huge psychological and emotional effect. And so for the Episcopal Church, if the Episcopal Church as a whole said, we're going to set aside $2 million, even for just investing in the poor black community, it could have a large effect. I think it should be something that affects all of us. And for the church pension fund, if it means that I'm going to get $10 less a month, I mean, that's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt me as much as many other clergy, but you're not going to do racial reconciliation on the cheap. It ought to cost you something. It ought to cost all of us something for the privilege of living in this great country. Even if you're a recent immigrant, you have, and I've talked to some, we do services on Sunday morning in 5 languages in Maryland. And I talked to them, they're all on board for this thing of reparations. They didn't cause any of this, but they know that we're in a mess. And that's why in May, that vote for reparations was unanimous in the diocese. 90% white diocese. Conservative and liberal, Republican, Democrat, Appalachian, urban, it was 100%. Once people get educated and they know what reparations is and what is not, and what it is not, they do the right thing. So I rambled a bit, but I hope I addressed some of what you were saying. Well, thank you all. Love, love, love. All about love.